Hello there. I'm Father John Geaney of the Paulist Fathers, and you're watching Psalm Sense. You know, every so often, I hear somebody say, I'm afraid of God. And I think to myself, there's a lot of things I think about God, but being afraid of him is not one of them. And you're liable to say, that's easy for you, you're a priest. You're not supposed to be afraid of God. Okay, let's take that for an example for the moment, but let's think a little bit too about why we might be afraid of God. And then go to the scriptures, look up or look for one of these Psalms that will help us get a better understanding of just who God is. And one of those Psalms that you might find very interesting and very important is Psalm 106. And it begins this way. So they defiled themselves by their actions. Their deeds were those of a harlot. Then God's anger blazed against his people. He was filled with horror at his heritage. Well, you see, if we're not good people, God is liable to be a little bit upset, but never to the point of making us afraid. Now, maybe we think to ourselves, yeah, but I know that I've done things wrong and that must upset God. Well, we can say that, but what we have to realize is how wonderful God is. His people, the Jewish people, wandered from Egypt all through all kinds of countries until they finally arrived in Jerusalem. And they did all kinds of terrible things. And maybe in that case, they should be a little bit afraid of God. But instead, we find out that God is a very loving God. And in that same psalm, we hear these words, for their sake, God remembered his covenant. In the greatness of his mercy, he relented, and he let them be treated with compassion by all who held them captive. Now, there's two words there that are very important. One is the covenant. God loves his people. That's always true. And that covenant is a covenant of love. So even though people tend to do things that they maybe shouldn't, not according to God's law anyway, God nevertheless is able to forgive them because he is a God of love. He is a covenanted God who loves us. What a great gift that is. The other word that's really important in that section that we just read from the Psalm 106 is the word mercy. When you combine God's covenant love and mercy, you have really what is the essence of God's concern for us and his forgiveness of us, even when we do some zany things. So it's important for us to recognize that our God is a God of the covenant, and our God is a God of mercy. For Psalm Sense, I'm Father John Geaney. My time is up. I thank you for yours.